Thursday night, the NBA's coaches announced who will be the All-Star reserves. Now, it seems unlikely at this point in time that Scottie Barnes' name will be called, but as a diehard Raptor fan and homer, I do feel like the kid deserves some recognition. Also, RJ, I feel like they're both on the cusp. Next year should be an interesting year should Raptors turn this thing around. But let's talk about the progression and growth for young Scottie Barnes. This year started off as an interesting one. There was some off-the-court upheaval. There was injuries. But the Raptors go as far as Scottie Barnes in everyone's eyes. And we have to take time to assess the areas he's grown in. We know, of course, top tier across points, assists, and rebounds. Leadership was a question mark in terms of how could he step up to the plate. Jevohn Shepherd, you've been around behind the scenes. Let's talk about it. Scottie Barnes' growth this year, what's been the biggest step?
Well, I think we also forget that Scottie's never been a marquee player in his entire career. Right? You're talking about college. His first year, he had a really good team around him. Second year, a lot of turnover, but he's never been the guy. So to say that the year started out, turbulent and whatever the case may be, it's to be expected. He's never been in this role. But I think of late, what Scottie Barnes is actually figuring out is his consistency and his level of play. When he's at an elite level, it permeates throughout the entire team. But the defensive side of the floor is what I've been most impressed with, right? He's clearly engaged. He's locked in. I think he's pretty unique in the fact that he guards actions. He guards, in the open court. He also guards, bigs, right? He can guard up, guard small. I think these numbers here are great. The 22, 9.
The reigning 6, player of the week off
player
of games.
Great. But his impact and how he affects the game on the defensive side of the floor is what I've been extremely impressed with, and that comes with consistency.
Well, you mentioned something in leadership, and leadership it's hard to quantify. However, it passes the eye test when you see it.
Yep.
And what we've seen from Scottie is an elevation in that aspect. And not being behind the scenes in the locker room, on the bus, on the plane and all that, you can't really speak to it on that level. But his demeanor, his disposition on the floor.
No, we've seen him pull guys aside. We've seen him have those conversations.
But what we're talking about is the consistency of leadership.
Yeah.
We're seeing Scottie mature right before our eyes on the court. His intensity level is off the charts.
Yeah.
You love that when your leader is as intense as anybody on the floor and he's pulling people along. Scottie is showing that. And his skill level, we're never going to doubt it because he can do so many things. But when you're a leader, leadership can't take time off. And what we're seeing is Scottie be consistently a leader. And that, to me, you got to see it to notice it.
Okay, so is the ceiling the roof? I remember when we first talked about NBA comparisons, I was saying Giannis because I believe the body would change that much and his ability to get up and down the floor with the ball in his hands. But Samson Folk from Raptors Republic had this great stat about Scottie as a cutter, and more his cut rate goes up, the more his assist rate goes up. So Giannis doesn't have any of that. So when you guys look around the NBA, is there a doppelganger, alike, anyone that you would point to and say that's kind of the prototype or that's the type of player you should expect to see Scottie blossom and grow into?
Not really.
A new beast?
No, it's a unique player. I think you can put pieces of players and say that could be Scottie. But when the comparison was made to Giannis, I didn't really see it. I get angularly and the length of the arms and the bodies. I get that.
And play style up and down.
But not really. Not really. I mean, Scottie came in as a way better passer than Giannis was at this point in his career.
Yeah,
so,
at any point in his
career. So then that speaks to a different skill set that allows Scottie to impact the game on a different level. When you can pass the ball, that means you're seeing things to be able to deliver it.
He had a little magic.
He's always had it. Giannis never had that when he came to the league. So I think that comparison kind of threw me off. I will say this, though. Scottie in the open floor, when he decides to go end-to-end with the ball, I can see it. Because now he's covering distance. He's got this force that he's moving with. He's got the size, and he can finish at the rim.
Yeah, you got to wall up. There's no one
Exactly. That's where I can see some comparisons.
I can see that comparison there, but I feel like there's a hybrid between a Scottie Pippen and
There's a name
Giannis,
we don't talk
right?
about.
You even see a little magic in the way
You see a little
he handles
magic.
the ball.
There's so much in there, and what makes him unique is that when you talk about Giannis, you're talking about a force with the basketball. Scottie can completely command and control a game without the basketball in his hands, right? He can do it on the defensive end, and he can also just be a guy that covers so much space and just controls the floor. I think what also is special about him, he's so unselfish, right, and makes his teammates better. And he has joy playing when he makes his teammates better. So he's really a unique breed of basketball player. I don't think you can really find a parallel for Scottie Barnes.
I know someone who'd echo every single sentiment you just had. That's Coach Darko. Check him.
Scottie seemed to make a bigger effort to get into the paint, and I don't think he took any threes in the second half. Was that something you talked to him about as an adjustment, or?
Somebody asked me before the game. I guess he was listening to it, and he's just trying to do what you guys want. Just trying to please you. That was the game. Like what Scottie does, good job is he's doing a good job of reading what defense is giving him. Tonight he was getting more angles, and he took advantage of that, going more to the rim.
Jakob had maybe one of his more efficient nights in a long time. What did you see he was able to exploit?
Wow. 21 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, but that does not. That cannot say the full story of Jakob and what he's doing for us. There are so many things that defensively he's covering for us, that he's doing outstanding job of communicating. He's our connector on offensive end. He does unbelievable job for us. I'm really proud of him.
I'm TJ Ford, and you're watching the Raptors YouTube channel. Check out our latest videos and subscribe to our YouTube page.
Works right into the lane, puts it up and in!
TJ flies away, fades, fires, Onions, timeout, Minnesota.